Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alright, so today I'm going to be covering and taking a look at a variety of different cigarette vending machines in Okinawa, which as a whole I am looking forward to doing much more so than not, because I like looking at different cigarette vending machines, seeing what selection they have, and seeing just how they look in general. And we are currently coming up to the first cigarette vending machine on the Docker. It is right here in front of a billiards and darts bar, I want to say. And so of course it makes sense for them to have a cigarette vending machine out front, an easy way for them to make a little bit more money, I will acknowledge. And this is what the vending machine looks like as a whole. Overall, it is probably the newest cigarette vending machine I've seen in a very long time. Of course, it's got a TASPO card reader right here. You do need to scan your ID, also known as your TASPO, and that's how it knows that you're over 20. We can see the selection is not bad, but is nothing crazy by any means. We do have a bunch of IQOS Illuma heat sticks down here, all sold for 580 yen, along with a couple of Sentia heat sticks as well. We got a bunch of Lucky Strikes down here, a pack of American Spirit Purples, which are unique to Japan. Those cost 420 yen, which is pretty amusing. Pack of Kents as well for the Glow Hyper. And then we've got a bunch of Camels up here, the Camel Craft line. And then we've got some 7 stars right there, some Mevis Option Purples. Then we've got some Mevis Originals, Lights, Light 100s, and Super Lights, along with Extra Lights and the ones as well. And then we've also got some Marlboros up top, just the classic Marlboro Reds, Marlboro Menthols, Black Menthols, and then the Mega Ice Blast 8, along with a pack of Parliament 9mg 100s. And then this as well. I don't know what that is. It costs 100 yen, and I have no idea what it is. And then we've got a couple other blank boxes as well. And that's what this cigarette vending machine looks like overall. We can see that this vending machine is stocked by the Miyagi Tobacco Partners or something like that kind of thing. Just has a sign down there saying no under 20, and you just get your cigarette pack through this little door right here. And that's really all there is to the first cigarette vending machine I wanted to showcase for this video today. Really not too much to it, nothing too crazy by any means. It is more of a normal cigarette vending machine overall, more so than not. And yeah, that's the first cigarette vending machine in Okinawa that I wanted to go ahead and showcase. I'm going to be recording this video over a little while, just cutting to different cigarette vending machines I see while walking around. And so as such, I'm going to go ahead and cut to the next cigarette vending machine I see. It hasn't even been 5 minutes and I've already found the next cigarette vending machine that I want to cover for this video. In my opinion, Okinawa, at least Naha, has the highest portion of cigarette vending machines per capita. I see more here than I see anywhere else in Japan. But this is the next cigarette vending machine that I want to cover. This one, definitely a little bit older, has been around for a while, especially since it's taped. We can tell it is a little bit older than not. Of course, once again, TASPO card reader. This one has some ads on the front that are a bit older than not. We can see an American Spirit ad right there on either side, along with just where you grab the cigarettes, where you grab your change, and where you put in your change and whatnot. We can see the selection on this one isn't anything too crazy, but it does have some interesting stuff. Starting up at the top, we have the Mevis Original, Mevis Lights, Mevis Super Lights, Extra Lights, and the ones, and then the Mevis Gold Impact ones as well, along with a bunch of Mevis Option Purples. And then we have some Camels right here, the Camel Lights, the Camel Menthol Lights. These are the non-craft line. We've also got some Forte. I want to say these are filtered cigars, if I remember correctly. Filtered cigars with charcoal filters. This is the original of the lights, and then the menthol right there. There's also the classic 7 stars in the soft pack, along with in the box as well. And then the Camel Craft line right here, although not the entirety of it, but there are some flavored ones right here. The Craft Menthol Berry. We also see some IQOS Illuma heat sticks, along with some Marlboro Reds, although kind of look like Marlboro Golds just with how much they've faded. Marlboro Menthol 8s, Black Menthol 8, and then we get the Lucky Strike Chill Berry, which I've never seen before. That's very interesting. Mevis E-Series, both the 6s and 1s, and then the option purple version of the E-Series. Don't know exactly what the Mevis E-Series is, but I'm gonna have to look that up, I will acknowledge. And then in the bottom, we just get some cool menthol milds, some cool boosts, and then we get the Lucky Strike 14s, 10s, and 6s right there, along with a couple packs of Kents, one of which is kind of hidden behind that tape. And yeah, that's what's going on with this cigarette vending machine right here. Once again, supplied by the Miyagi Tobacco Partners or something along those lines. And we can see this machine overall, it's a bit rusty, it's a bit older than not, but it's got a slightly more interesting selection than the first one. And overall, it's a solid machine in my personal opinion. I figure it's not going to be too long until I find another, especially since I think I remember seeing another literally right down the way. I think there's like literally 3 within like a block and a half radius here, which is not generally the case in Japan. Cigarette vending machines, while they do exist, while they are around without a doubt, they're not nearly this common normally. So it's pretty interesting to see, but the next one, yes, it is right over here. It's right in front of this alcohol shop right there. Let's go and take a look at this cigarette vending machine as well. This one, it's a bit smaller, it's a bit taller, I'd have to say. This one, TASPO card reader once again. It also has an ID reader that you can just kind of put your normal ID into so we can check. This is something you see on some cigarette vending machines, but not all of them by any means. And we can see this one's pretty new as well. You just put your money in right there, put your coins in right there, and once again supplied by the Miyagi Tobacco Partners. Has a no under 20 sign, and you just get your cigarettes from there. No ads or anything right here, but we can see the cigarette selection itself. Marlboro Menthol 8s, Ice Blast Reds, Golds. This is the first time seeing Golds in a vending machine in this video. Bunch of Mevises, Camel Craft line, some Patil Pianissimo, along with some Icos Illuma heat sticks, and some Lucky Strikes for the Glow Hyper Plus, plus some Mevis for the Plume. And then we got another one with Forte, which is pretty interesting. Mevis E-Series 1, 7 stars, and then some other Lucky Strikes down here, plus a pack of Kents. Overall, solid selection, and mildly interesting selection at that. No complaints on my behalf. That's what the cigarette vending machine looks like. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get back to moving. All right, it's been not even 5 minutes again, and I've already found another one. This one looks pretty nice as well. Once again, run by Miyagi. I guess they probably have a monopoly in Okinawa. And we can see the machine overall looks pretty much identical to the first one we saw. It has a sign saying you're okay to pay with 1,000 yen bills, and then it has some other signs on here and stuff like that. Get the cigarettes from down there, coins in here. Let's take a look at the selection. We can see the Mevis Original and Mevis Lights and all of those all up here. Some Plume X Camels and Mevises as well, along with some Kents, along with some Icos Terras for the Illuma one. A pack of Philip Morris ones. Haven't seen a pack of these in a vending machine quite yet. Got a pack of Mevis E-Series 10 and a bunch of just E-Series down here, along with the Frozen Berry E-Series and the option purple Mevises as well. Got part of the Camel Craft line down here, and a pack of Larks. Haven't seen a pack of those in a vending machine yet, along with a pack of Sophia Virginias. I have never really heard of this brand a lot, so I'm gonna have to take a look at those and learn more about them. Got a pack of 7 stars down here, just the classic soft pack. Lucky Strikes, along with some flavored Lucky Strikes. Then we just got Marlboro Reds, Marlboro Menthol 8s, and the Lark Milds as well, with these being the full flavors. And yeah, that's the next vending machine that we had to cover. No ads on it or anything like that, but glad to have found another one. This one's just in a little bit of a covered shopping street, and glad to have spotted it. All right, y'all, I've spotted another cigarette vending machine. I'm in a different area than I was before, and it's been probably about 30 minutes or so. Definitely once you get out of that one area I was in, the amount of cigarette vending machines definitely thins out a bit, but I'm still finding them every once in a while, and the next one is right here, right there. And we can see this one is a little bit of a different style than the last couple ones we've seen. This one has round buttons on it rather than, I think, like rectangular buttons on it. And of course, we can see Taspo card reader is where you put the money, once again run by Miyagi, and that's where you grab the cigarettes. Has a sign saying no under 20, and has an ad up here for the Mevis Premium Menthols, and we can see the selection is all down here, just like that. Starting off at the top, we have 7-star 14s in both the soft pack and the box, Camel Craft Menthols, along with the Camel Craft Menthol ones and just the normal ones as well. We've also got the whole lineup of the original Mevises, along with some Mevis Extra Light and ones and E-Series and stuff like that as well. And the E-Series 1 Menthols, don't think I've ever seen those in a cigarette vending machine. Also got the Camel Craft ones right there as well, along with more Camel Crafts and more Mevises. A lot of the vending machines I'm noticing are pretty heavy on Mevises without a doubt. It makes sense. It's one of the best-selling brands in Japan after all. Then we've got Lucky Strikes over here, Marlboro Reds, Menthols, Mega Ice Blast 8, Black Menthol 8s as well, along with some Winston, get my words all jumbled up, along with some Winston Casters right there, along with some Winston Cabins right next to them, along with some Camel Craft 14s, which I actually have a pack of in my backpack right now. Lark Full Flavors, Milds, Philip Morris 3 and 1s, along with the Sophia Virginias once again, along with some Parliament 9 milligrams and lights. And then we've got the Cool Menthols, the Milds, and the lights, then Kent's, and then 2 Fortes once again. I'll acknowledge, I was not expecting to see that amount of Fortes in cigarette vending machines in Japan, but I am seeing a bunch of them here in Okinawa. In mainland Japan, I've seen Fortes in a cigarette vending machine, but not nearly to this degree. Maybe somebody at Miyagi really likes them, I'm not sure. But yeah, there's another cigarette vending machine. On a side topic, I was walking through this ferry terminal to find a smoking area and some bathrooms, and I saw a interesting vending machine. It's not a cigarette vending machine, but it is a unique vending machine that I don't think you're gonna see too many of if I had to guess. What I'm talking about in specific is this, a sriracha vending machine. This is what it looks like. It's Japanese sriracha, not the type of sriracha we get in the United States. We can see it's literally all just sriracha that costs 800 yen a piece. And that's all it is. It's just a sriracha vending machine. All right, so it's been a couple hours, but I have just spotted another cigarette vending machine. The cigarette vending machine in specific is right here, right next to this drink machine, but this is what we're looking for. We can see it is overall a pretty normal cigarette vending machine, not the newest, not the oldest. Put in your money there, Taspo card reader, put in your change there, everything like that. It's got some handwritten numbers on it, maybe if there's issues with the machine, and it's got a little bit of graffiti as well, plus an ad down here for the Lark Hybrid cigarettes, which I've never heard of and which I don't know if are they even sold anymore. I don't even know if these are sold anymore is basically what I'm trying to say, although I am getting my words just a little bit jumbled up. But let's go ahead and take a look at the cigarette selection. We've got the Mevis Option Menthol 8s and 5s right there, 7 stars of course. We've got the Mevis 1s, the Extra Lights, the Super Lights, the Lights, the original 10 charcoal filters. I didn't even know this was a thing. I'm gonna have to see if I can get a pack of those because I've tried the originals and now I want to. Well, I'm gonna have to see if I can find the charcoal filters. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know there was a difference. Interesting. We've got just the normal originals, both the soft pack and the hard pack as well, plus Marlboro Reds, Camels. We've got some Marlboro Menthol 8s, both the 100s and the shorts, Marlboro Golds, Marlboro Black Menthol 8s, along with a bunch of Philip Morris. We got the Philip Morris Black Label 14s, the 6s, the 8s, and then the 5s. Both of these are menthol flavors, I want to say. And then we've got some Larks over here, the Lark Full Flavors Milds, and then Extra, which makes sense because it's got a Lark advertisement right there. And then more Philip Morris, and then the Marlboro Mega Ice Blast 8. And we've got a lot of Philip Morris, frankly put. This is probably the most Philip Morris I've ever seen in a cigarette vending machine. We've got the Philip Morris 3s, Black Label 10s, although if I had to guess, these might be discontinued and they just haven't taken the paper out of the machine because each and every single one of these is out. That's what this little symbol right here means. It just means it's out. So I figure if all of them are out, probably discontinued. Either that or it's a massive top seller, but I've never seen these before, so I'm guessing discontinued. We've got the Parliament lights, Lark Classic Milds. We've got the normal Parliaments as well, along with, interestingly enough, a gas lighter. So you can get a gas lighter, you can get just a normal cigarette lighter out of this machine for 100 yen. That's pretty cool. And then we just got some IQOS Illuma Terra sticks right there. Got some ads for what they sell on the side, it looks like. That looks a little bit older and a little bit more torn than not. I bet that's been on there for years. But yeah, that's another cigarette vending machine in Okinawa for the books. Let's get back to moving. Alright, so it's been a little while. It's been probably another hour or so. Ran by the grocery store, got myself some food for dinner, but on the way back I spotted a vintage cigarette vending machine. I don't think it was ever on the streets here in Okinawa, but it's now used as a display piece. And so I figured, well, it's still a cigarette vending machine, even if it doesn't work, and even if it wasn't really ever on the streets, I'd might as well show it because it looks pretty cool. So I'm gonna do exactly that. And it is right around this corner, right here, right in front of this restaurant, used as part of their decor. And here it is. We can see very vintage without a doubt. Got a pack of cherry cigarettes in there, Kent's, High Tones. All of those, except for the Kent's, are discontinued. Cherry cigarettes no longer exist. High Tone cigarettes no longer exist. Those are both discontinued, I want to say in the early 2010s, if not earlier. We can see at the time they cost 220 yen a pop, or 150 for the High Tones. That would be because they were made with lower quality tobacco that allowed for them to be sold at a lower price, but got the buttons on it, of course, coin only as well. Very glad to have taken a look at this cigarette vending machine as well. Certainly no complaints on my behalf, and it was a nice display piece for that restaurant. I love seeing vintage cigarette vending machines, and I'm glad to have spotted that one. Alright, it's been not even 30 seconds. I was literally right, like, there when I ended the last clip of the video, and I've already spotted another cigarette vending machine. It's right over here. Not far at all. Here it is. And it's right in front of a liquor shop. This one, pretty standard. Has 7 stars in it, Winston's in it, Mevis Original 10s, and pretty much the entire Mevis lineup. Mevis Super Lights, the E-Series, the Camels, and then a bunch of Camel Crafts as well, plus some Larks, Lucky Strike, and a couple packs of Marlboros and Philip Morris. Has the Taspo card reader, and pretty standard overall. Glad to have spotted another cigarette vending machine, like, no joke, 30 seconds after I saw the last one. As said at the beginning of this video, I feel like per capita, Okinawa has gotta have one of the highest ratios of cigarette vending machines of anywhere I've been in Japan so far. Hold up, is that another one? Is that another one I spot up ahead? Not that vending machine. There's one, I think that's another cigarette vending machine. I am proving my point of what I'm saying right now. There is literally another one right here, right outside of this liquor shop. And let's take a look at this one. And this one's got a lot to offer. Some rust at the top. We can definitely tell it's a little bit older. Taspo card reader. Put your money in there, coins in there, get them out down there. And Lucky Strikes, Marlboro Reds, Black Menthols, Marlboro Menthols. Got the Ice Blast 8. This is these older packs than not. In fact, all the packs up here of Marlboros are actually very old. Highlights right there, Kent's right there as well, also with the old warning label, although the highlights do have the new one. Marlboro Menthols right there. Lucky Strikes with the old warning label once again. And then more Lucky Strikes, Philip Morris Silver and White. I think these are all discontinued just because of the red button right there. Either that or they're just out. Philip Morris Green. Never seen those before. I'm pretty sure they're discontinued. But we got Larks, the full flavoreds, the milds, the cool mints. And we've got the super milds and then 7 stars right there as well. Plus pretty much the entire Mevis lineup. And a bunch of Parliaments too. And some Camels, more Mevis, some Cools. We got the Echo cigars. These are discontinued. I know that for sure. In fact, both of these are discontinued, but it looks like you still have the Wakabas next to the Echoes. More Mevis to that side, more Camels to that side. And then the Camel Craft 12s, 10s, 6s, 3s, and 1s, with one of them being menthol and flavored. And that's another cigarette vending machine right there. Alright, so it's now a couple days from the last clip, and I've now found another cigarette vending machine, so I figured I'd take a look at the selection. This is what the machine looks like. It has a light up top, I assume for an advertisement, although there is not one there right now. It has this thing on the side, I don't know what that is, but of course has a TASPO card reader, has a logo for British American Tobacco down there. That's where you grab your coins, that's where you grab your cigarettes. No ad right here, but we can see the selection is pretty normal, I will acknowledge, nothing too crazy. We got Mevis at the top, the entire original line pretty much, then some option purples, 7 stars, the Camel Craft line right there, along with some cools, both the Boost Fresh 8s and 5s, along with just the Cool 8 Milds. A couple Kents, one Philip Morris 1, and then we got some Camel Craft 1s, and then along with some Lucky Strike Chill Berries, both the 5 and the 8s, and then we got a bunch of other Lucky Strikes as well. Got some Marlboros down here, the Marlboro Reds, Menthol 12s, Menthol 8s, Black Menthol 8, Mega Ice Blast 8, and then we got some Terra, Oasis Pearls, and just other Terras for the Iquos Illuma. And then we got some Area Pianissimo right there, the Menthol 1s. And then we got some Parliaments down here, along with some more Fortes that we've seen in other vending machines before, although the logo for this one is a little bit different. And yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on with this cigarette vending machine. We can see it says no under 20 down there. And yeah, that's about all that's going on. It's just in front of a restaurant. All right, y'all, it's been about 2 hours since the last clip, and I have found another cigarette vending machine. It's right over there across the street, but I gotta wait for the crosswalk first, so I'm gonna press the button, and oh, it turned immediately. Oh, I love that. I love it when that happens. It doesn't happen all the time. You don't always get crossings where it happens immediately, but the moment I pressed that button, it went to yellow. So goated. Absolutely love it. But this cigarette vending machine is right outside of a restaurant, and we can see there's a sign on the side of it that basically just says tobacco for sale, or that's basically what it means, although I don't know exactly what it says. But you see these characters right here wherever tobacco is sold. So you see these at a lot of tobacconists and whatnot, and it says the same in the front right there. And overall, we can see that this cigarette vending machine is a little bit newer than not, and it's got a pretty big display case right here. Just has that, and looks like maybe there's some ad hidden underneath, or maybe this is part of the ad, I'm not sure, but there's some sort of British American Tobacco paper underneath this one in the front, I do think. Can't tell exactly what it is through there though, but let's go ahead and just take a look at the machine fully. We can see TASPO card reader, money in, coins in, and this is run by Miyagi Tobacco Partners. And the selection overall is nothing super crazy. We got the entire Mevis lineup up here, along with some Lucky Strikes as well. We've got Mevis 1s, Camel Menthol Lights, the Wakaba cigars, which are now discontinued, so that's interesting to see in this machine. We've got some Terra heat sticks as well, along with the Lucky Strike Chillberry 8s and 5s, Lucky Strike filters, just the normals. That's pretty interesting, and this warning label as well is smaller than it's supposed to be, so maybe this vending machine is actually a bit older than I thought. It looks pretty new to me, but that was just at a glance. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, ooh, this is a little bit older than not. Look at that rust, y'all. But got the Lucky Strike filters in there with the old packaging from prior to these warning labels becoming the standard. Same with these cool Boost Fresh 8s. We've got the Camel Craft line right here, along with some Kent 1s, 7-star charcoal filters, some American Spirits, 420 yen, nice, along with some Marlboros, Marlboro Mediums as well. I don't even know if these are sold anymore. The Menthol 8s, Mega Ice Blast 8, and then just the Black Menthol 8, and that's the entire selection right there. All right, y'all, it's been about 30 minutes since the last clip, and guess what? I found another cigarette vending machine. It's right here, right next to this restaurant, as we can see. It's overall a pretty standard cigarette vending machine. Looks newer than not. There's no rust on it or anything like that. TASPO card right there, money in there, and coins in there. Get your change out, get your cigarettes out from down there. Has a TASPO thing right there. I don't know exactly what that says. Let me go and actually translate that, because I'm just curious to know, in all honesty, what does that say? It just says, to help prevent underage smoking, this is in operation for 24 hours. Oh, interesting. I would expect it to be, but hey, who knows? Taking a look at the selection, though, we can see the Mevis original lineup up here, plus the ones. We can see Mevis option purple, 7 stars. This is the first time I've actually seen Peace in a cigarette vending machine in Okinawa. We got 2 Peace Light selections right there. We've also got the Camel Craft line, along with more Camel Crafts, Parliaments, the lights, and the more full flavors. Some Icos Illuma stuff for heat sticks and whatnot. And then Marlboro Reds, Golds, Menthol, and the Mega Ice Blast. We got some Fortes right here once again, along with an entire row of Lucky Strikes at the very bottom. The 10s, the 14s, the Chill Berries, and just the normal Menthol 8s and 5s as well. Pretty cool to see a pack of Peace Lights in a cigarette vending machine in Okinawa. That's something I haven't seen quite yet, so that's pretty cool in my personal opinion. And yeah, that's the vending machine right there. All right, y'all, it's been about a day. I'm now in Aruma, the 3rd largest city in Okinawa, and I just walked past another cigarette vending machine. So I'm gonna go ahead and check it out real quick, and we can see it right here. This one definitely looks a little bit different than the other cigarette vending machines that we've seen so far. This one has 2 slots at the bottom, which is pretty interesting. Taspo card reader. Put your bills in there, change in there. We can see there's not too much of a selection anymore. There's like small things up here, big ones down here, which is really interesting. We see a giant Marlboro clear cigarette ad, and this is all Marlboro branded up here, probably for these if I had to guess. We can see they sell the Camel Craft Menthol Berries, both the 5s and the 8s, along with the Parliament Lights right there. This is an old thing because we can see the warning label is pretty old. It has the Marlboro Black Menthol 8s, bunch of Mevis originals, along with the Lucky Strike lineup right there. And then we have some more Mevises, another pack of Camel Craft, Marlboro Mega Ice Blast 8, 7 stars, Mevis Option Purple, some Larks, Mevis 1s, Marlboro Menthol 8s, Marlboro Reds, Philip Morris 1s, some Heat Not Burn cigarettes for the Icos Illuma, these are the Terras, and then Parliament full flavors as well. Overall, definitely a more unique cigarette vending machine than not when compared to some of the other ones I've seen in Japan. I mean, like, it's got the ad right there on the side rather than in the bottom. That's unique. And it's got this up here, which is Marlboro branded area. Definitely a little bit older than not. I mean, like, we can see a little bit of rust at the top and whatnot, but very cool to see. Glad I decided to check out that cigarette vending machine. Definitely one of the more unique cigarette vending machines I've seen, not only in Japan, or sorry, not only in Okinawa, but actually in Japan as a whole. So glad I stopped and checked that one out, and I will see you guys at the next cigarette vending machine that I see. All right, it's been about a day, and I am now back in Naha, and I've spotted another cigarette vending machine. It's right over there, and just taking a look at it, it looks a bit taller than not, and oh my goodness, that selection is massive. This has got to be one of the biggest selections I've seen at a cigarette vending machine here so far. We can see there's an ID reader up there, which is pretty interesting. That's something that not every cigarette vending machine has. There's also a Taspo card reader, of course, as is required, where you put your money in, where you put coins in, and this one is run by Miyagi Tobacco Partners once again. There's a little bit of rust on the top of it, and a little bit of rust on the bottom as well, so we can definitely tell that this cigarette vending machine is a bit older than not, but nothing too crazy by any means, no crazy amount of rust. Looks like there used to be an ad here, but I can't tell exactly what it was for, as it's disintegrated to a pretty decent degree. Taking a look at the selection, though, we see the 7 Stars 14 soft pack, along with the box, Mevis Gold, Mevis E-Series. We can also see the Mevis Original 10s right there, both in the soft pack and the hard pack, along with the lights in both the soft pack and the hard pack. That's pretty cool to see. We also see the Mevis Original 100s right there, and then just some other Mevis lights in 100s, and then the Super Lights in soft pack plus in 100s. Dang, they really do have quite the selection in this vending machine, I will acknowledge. We also see the extra lights in the soft pack, along with in the 100s hard pack as well, and then in the ones as well right there. And then we can see, I think this is flipped backwards because they're not selling it anymore, but they used to sell the like Pianismo cigarettes here, it looks like. We've also got the Mevis E-Series 3s right there, along with a bunch of Icos Illuminateras, and then we can see the Camelcraft 6, Camelcraft 1, and then we can see the Mevis E-Series menthols, both the 5 and the 1, Camel menthol lights right there, and this is pretty cool, a pack of Aruma cigarettes for sale in this cigarette vending machine. That is something that I have not seen at any other vending machine in Okinawa so far. So that's very, very, very cool to see. I really like seeing that they're selling Aruma branded cigarettes at this vending machine, because Aruma is an Okinawan exclusive cigarette brand. Kind of, there are some exceptions to that, but what I'm trying to say is that Aruma cigarettes are only available in Okinawa, kind of. And so it's really cool to see a pack of Aruma cigarettes for sale at a cigarette vending machine in, well, Okinawa. We've got a soft pack Winston's right there, the Cool Loop Plus. I think that's my first ever time seeing these in a cigarette vending machine as well. Parliament 9mg, Parliament 9mg 100s, pretty cool to see. Marlboro Menthol 4s, Black Menthol 8s, and then Mega Ice Blast 8. Then we can see the Camel Craft line right there, along with some Kents, Mevis E-Series, some more Kents, and then some Lucky Strikes and some Kents, along with the Larks as well, but the full flavoreds and the milds. And that's pretty much all there is to this cigarette vending machine right here. Overall, I would say that it is, without a doubt, one of the best cigarette vending machines we have seen in Okinawa so far, frankly put. I really like the selection in that one. I think the fact that they sell Aruma is really cool, and overall, I'm a fan of that cigarette vending machine. It's got to be one of my favorite ones that I've seen so far. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. I'll see y'all when I see the next cigarette vending machine. It's been not even 5 minutes, and I found another cigarette vending machine. No complaints on my behalf. Let me tell y'all what. This one's pretty tall as well. The general same style as the last one we saw, but the selection is a little bit different. Once again, we see the ID reader right there. There's the Tasco card reader where you put your money in right there, and once again run by the Miyagi Tobacco Partners. This one does appear to be a little bit newer as there's no rust on it. And taking a look at the selection, we see Marlboro Reds, Greens, the Black Menthols, the Mega Ice Blast once again, full flavored Larks, but the 100s and the shorts, and then we get pretty much the entire Mevis original lineup just like that, both hardpack and soft packs, which is pretty cool to see. And we get pretty much the entire Mevis E-Series lineup as well, which is pretty nice. And this is dripping down onto me. It's distracting me just a little bit, I will acknowledge. I've got water running down my hair now. Oh my goodness. But we can see the Mevis 4-plume menthols and the regular, and we can also see the Lucky Strike menthol for the Glow Hyper as well. That's pretty neat to see. We also see pretty much the entire Camelcraft line right there, along with a Pianismo cigarette. And then we get the Lucky Strike soft packs and the hard packs. Both of these are the 14mg full flavors. We get the Camel menthol lights and just the normal lights, and then we get the Ice Blast 5s, the Lark milds, and then we are looking at the Winston cabins, both the 8mg it looks like, and they just got 2 of those packs. Then we just got the normal Winston as well, and then we've just got the Wakaba cigars right there. Those are indeed discontinued. Does it say that they are out? It actually does not say that they're out, so maybe they just didn't exchange the Wakaba cigar like image for the new pack that they have for Wakabas now, which look slightly different and are no longer cigars. They're now actually cigarettes. They've changed from cigars to cigarettes when they were originally cigarettes. It's confusing, I will acknowledge, but technically speaking, the Wakaba cigars are indeed discontinued, so that's pretty interesting to see in here. We also see the Mevis option purples as well, along with some Icos Illuminatera Heat Not Burn cigarettes, some American Spirits, American Spirit yellows, dark greens, and then we can see a bunch of cools, the Cool Milds, Cool Boost Fresh, and a bunch of other ones. This one has an old warning label on it, so that's pretty neat to see. And then we can see the Lucky Strike Chill Berries, and then just 2 other packs of Lucky Strikes down there. And it's been not even 5 minutes again, and I've found another one. Here it is, right here. We can see it pretty much looks very similar to the last 2 we saw, except the last 2 had circular buttons, whereas these ones are more square/rectangular. This machine is a little bit older than that. We can see the rust on it, and it has the remnants of what looks like a Mevis Extra Lights ad on the side, although that has pretty much all come off, I will acknowledge. There is no ID scanner on this one. It's just got the Tasbo card reader. We can see money in here, coins in here, run once again by Miyagi Tobacco Partners. And another ad on this side, looks like probably for Mevis if I had to hazard a guess. Taking a look at the selection, we can see 7 stars up top, both the soft pack and the hard pack. We can see the Camel Craft line all the way down there, along with the Mevis Originals. Although this one is missing, it does appear. And then we can just see Mevis Lights as well, and a little bit of a BRZ driving by, no complaints on my behalf. We can also see a bunch of Icos Illuma Terra Heat Not Burn sticks, along with the I almost said Sienta, but it's Sentia is how they're pronounced, I want to say. We got 2 packs of the Winston 12 milligram full flavoreds, and then the Parliament 9 milligram 100s. Then we got the Mevis Option Purples, an entire line of the Mevis Option Purples, all the different strengths and whatnot. We got the Marlboro Mega Ice Blast 5s and 8s, along with Marlboro Reds, Marlboro Greens, and Marlboro Black Menthols. And then we got the Marlboro Menthol 8s down there as well, whereas these are the 12s. We got the Mevis E-Series Menthol Frozen Berry, along with a couple other E-Series. And then we got Lark Full Flavoreds and Milds, with the Milds being in the 100s format. And then we can see we have the Pianismo cigarettes once again, couple Lucky Strikes, couple packs of just normal Camels, it appears. And then we have Echo filtered cigarettes right there, along with the Wakaba KS. These are the new Wakaba cigarettes. And then we just have Fortes as well. Looks like 2 different packs of Fortes just right there. Pretty neat to see the Echo KS and the Wakaba KS new cigarettes in this vending machine. No complaints on my behalf about that. And overall, a pretty decent selection in this vending machine as a whole. Alright y'all, I have now spotted the final vending machine of the video. It has been a couple hours since the last clip, and I've just been walking around exploring a little bit, and this is the first vending machine I've seen in those couple hours, I will acknowledge. It is right here, to be precise, and it looks pretty new in my personal opinion. There's no rust on it or anything like that, and just put the money in right there, coins in right there. Tasbo card reader is down here, and then we can see the top level right there is Mevis Originals, Lights, Extra Lights, Super Lights, 1s, stuff like that. We got the 7 stars, 14s, both the soft pack and the hard pack, Mevis Option Purple all the way down there, along with some Lucky Strike Chill Berries. And then we've got the Camel Craft 10s, Fortes not in the corner like they usually are. This one's actually in the middle. That's pretty interesting, I'll acknowledge. 2 Camel Craft 12s, back a Lucky Strike 14, 10s, 6s, and then the Menthol 5s and 8s right there as well. Some LEDs lighting up in here. I wonder why that is. Maybe they're trying to emphasize specific packs. Some more Camel Crafts down here along with the 1s. And then we've got the empty slot. You know, gotta have an empty slot for no pack of cigarettes at all. I was trying to make a joke there, but I couldn't think of one, honestly. But yep, there's an empty slot right there. And then we see some Icos Illuma heat sticks right there, along with Parliament, both full flavors and lights. Marlboro Reds, Mega Ice Blasts, and then we get the Cool Milds along with the Cool Boost Fresh. And that's all that's going on with this cigarette vending machine. Variety-wise, there's also an ad down there for the Marlboro Clear. But yeah, that's the final cigarette vending machine of the video. Pretty cool stuff to have taken a look at, I will acknowledge. Glad to have done exactly that, and glad to have taken a look at many different cigarette vending machines in Okinawa, I will acknowledge. There's, I'm sure, many more cigarette vending machines than just what I showcased in this video, but I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what cigarette vending machines in Okinawa look like, what selection they're generally going to have, and what condition they're generally going to be in, more so than not. I feel like this has been a very educational experience. But what are my final thoughts on cigarette vending machines in Okinawa? Well, overall, I think most of them, all of them honestly, are dang cool because, well, it's not like I really have a lot of experience seeing cigarette vending machines in the United States, so, you know, honestly, any cigarette vending machine is cool to me, frankly put. Overall, pretty much, I think 95% of the machines we saw worked perfectly fine. they were actually operable, which is not the case in some areas that I've been to, where you're walking around and you see a cigarette vending machine, you're like, cool, and then it just doesn't work. I've definitely been to some areas like that. Okinawa, Naha, not one of those areas, I'll acknowledge. And then I would say the selection in all of the machines was pretty similar. There were definitely standout machines where they had a different selection and stuff like that, but I think it's due to the fact that most of the machines, if not all of the machines, are run by the Miyagi Tobacco partners, and they probably just have a standard lineup that they put in machines, and so as such, that's just what we saw over and over and over again. There's some variety, of course. I'm sure whoever's property the machine is on wants specific cigarettes in their machine, so if they want a pack of Marlboro Mediums in their machine, or Peace Lights or something like that, then I'm sure they can ask and be obliged by whoever is supplying the machine with cigarettes. Is there anything else I want to say? Is there anything else I want to mention? Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that there's definitely areas here that have a ton of cigarette vending machines, like literally every block, if not more than one every block, which is kind of crazy. And then there's definitely areas which have less, but they still are there. And then there's definitely areas which have none at all, which is pretty standard for all of Japan, in all honesty. There's some areas in Tokyo that have a ton of cigarette vending machines, and some areas of Tokyo that have none, and some areas in between. So yeah, not too big of a surprise, I'll acknowledge, but still, I think significant enough to mention nonetheless. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video today. If you guys have, like, subscribe, check out my Instagram, my book, my merch, everything like that, you know what I'm saying? And till the next one, stay safe and peace, and have a great one. Yes sir, you know what I'm saying?